Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. What a day. Well, today is Christmas. Isn't that something? Today is Christmas. I remember when I was a kid, I used to get so happy this time of year because I remember that this time of year, everybody started being nice. Everybody started being nice around Christmas time. I mean, people would start smiling at you. That was back then. People would start smiling at you and it was just lights. Everybody's street was lit up. Christmas tree, Christmas lights, decoration, all that. Everybody went out back then. And it's something. I went all out. I done went all out every single year. I remember stressing about Christmas so bad because I got 5 kids. So, it's hard to try to buy for 5 kids, and then you want to make sure they all get enough and they get the right thing, because this thing may cost more, but then it won't be enough. You still got to give them some extra presents so it look like they got just as much as the other child. Christmas is stressful. But I'm going to tell you something. You ain't got to worry about Christmas no more. This your last Christmas, stressing about these gifts, these presents, and being up in this foolishness. Because that's all it is. These holidays don't mean nothing to us. They don't. Look, Christmas ain't even a nice time of year no more. Ain't nobody nice to nobody no more like they used to be back in the 70s and 80s, and how folks would look at you and smile at Christmas time. You don't get that no more. Shoot, you better not look at somebody and smile. You might get shot. You gotta leave folks alone. See, I carry the ancestors with me, so I walk and smile, and I tell them about the Grow Program. I talk to my people. I tell my people about the Grow Program. It's another thing I want to tell you. I got to remind you of this. I got to remind you of this lie. I got to dismiss this lie. I want every African to realize that this is a lie. Okay, I got to go back to this story real quick. I got to tell you this story. When I used to take my dog outside, every time I take my dog outside, a white man would come outside of his house and he'd stand on top of the porch and look down at me and glare at me and smoke a cigarette while I'm walking my dog. I look over there at him every few minutes and he's still glaring, looking. He didn't look nowhere else but at me until I went back in the house. And I said, you know what? I'm in the haunted house. I said, you know what? I'm just going to do is I'm just going to not even look at him. I'm going to just look down. I ain't going to look at him no kind of way. And the ancestors revealed to me and showed me he ain't superior to me. He ain't nobody to me. Hold your head up. Don't look down unless you looking for money. Hold your head up, and look him in the eye. Look them in the eye, because I'm going to tell you what, you royalty. You are kings and queens. You are descendants of royalty. You truly are. It's not something I'm just making up, we kings and queens. No, we really are. Look it up. You don't believe me? And the kings and queens back then, they wasn't wrapped up, shrouded up, without makeup, looking crazy. They were beautiful. Look at those kings and queens back then. They were beautiful. They were royalty. They walked with royalty. They walked with grace. That's why when you see an African woman, showing her afro, walking with an afro, that speaks. That tells I am powerful. I am strong. My African spirituality, I know who I am in God. And that is powerful. People will get out your way, just like they got out of my way at the courthouse. When I walked up in there with that afro. They get up out your way and help you and do what you, because that's power. You power. You come up out of these weeds, wigs, and ponytail. Because I be looking, I don't watch the news. I glance on there sometimes, turn it on something, just to see, to make sure that ain't nothing bad coming out. I ain't finna get all into that right now. I'm not finna do that. I ain't going there, but I want to say I turn on there sometimes and I see that, sometimes they had it, I used to do it, it didn't work right some days. The wig be all messed up, and I take a picture smiling and look at the picture. Oh my God, that's a mess. Give me that. I'm trying to get that picture from my dad. I talked to him this morning and forgot to mention him. I'm going to get that picture. He don't know. I'm going to get that picture. But yeah, so people, we got to be proud of who we are. Walk in royalty, honey. You can't tell me, and can't no white person tell me they superior to me. I will let them know, and I want you to know it's all getting ready to come out. See, Africans been told a lie. You've been told that you are superior. You came from them, or you came from monkeys, or you came from this, and that, and the other. But I know for a fact where you came from. You came from royalty. And you came from Africa, and you were the first there. You were there first. Africans were first. You listen to the podcast and say we were first. That's it. So, I have denounced the holidays of this country, because this country, has staked claim and taken. That's all they do. Just take. The powers that be, they just take. They took from the Indians who were here first. The Indians were here first. 10 million Indians, probably more than that, here in the United States. And they thought they were going to kidnap the Indians and keep them enslaved. But the Indians knew the land, and the Indians were getting sick on them, and the Indians were getting away, and that wasn't going to work. So they had to figure something else out. So they stumbled upon them Africans over there looking for gold, went over there looking for gold and found Africans. And they said, oh, here we go. They can't get away. They can't hide. They can't go over there and get no kind of help. So we started taking them, and they brought us over here and started building up this country. I'm going to tell you something. You can act foolish if you want to with me, and I'm going to act foolish with you too. So you can tell me, well, I was born in Tennessee. I was born in Mississippi. I was born down in Florida. You can tell me all that foolishness if you want to. So, your ancestry, you can check Ancestry.com if you want to. Ain't nothing there for you. You going to be filling in the blanks like I was. Your ancestry come from the photo album and grandma and grandpa. So you better get to asking some questions, while you can. Start finding out some information, because going to Ancestry, you ain't going to find nothing out there. They were asking me to fill in the blanks, asking me to tell them what's going on. So people, we got to come up out of this oppression. We got to do better. I ain't studying no holidays. I got a little grandbaby, and he's 7. I can't disappoint him. So yeah, I bought my baby some toys, and gave my daughter some money, and there you go. Merry Christmas, but I don't feel like how I used to feel about it. I don't want a food with no tree, no gifts. I don't want no part of it. I really don't. And you need to get out of it too, because see, it's running you crazy. Y'all out in the store, running into folks, bumping into people. Corona's going on, and you're out there acting a fool over some games that you can get next year. You buy the baby something every single day anyway. Christmas is every day. Christmas is love. You need to get up out of this tree and these ornaments and this foolishness. They got you brainwashed. Just like with these car notes. The car note, I did an episode on the car note. Come to find out, it had went up to 84 months. It's been stretched on. They gonna keep stretching on to a car note get be like a house note, 30 years. It's gonna keep going and growing, but you need to keep growing. You need to grow up out of this oppression, and going to school for years and years and years, and coming out can't even find no job. My son got a bachelor's degree in math. A bachelor's degree in math. Who can't find a job with a bachelor's degree in math? Come on now. Nope. Can't find no job. Or the jobs, what he can find, or beneath what the degree. So he got to do something. He got to work. He got to start paying them loans off. See, we need to come up out of this, people, get wise. Going in these debts. Biden already said he ain't wiping out no student loan debt. See, he ain't going to overreach. He ain't going to do no executive orders and all this different stuff that he could do if he want to, but he ain't going to do that. He got some other people he got to please. He one man. That's what you don't recognize. Under the presidency, the president is one man, and up under him is some other different people that want some different things, who help propel him into that office. So he got to please them. He got to try to please the voters. He got to try to please everybody. But just like you and I know, you can't please all the people all the time. Some people going to be left out, and guess who going to be left out? Tyler Perry, the have and the have not. Guess who the have nots is, Tyler Perry? That's us. If you didn't know Tyler Perry, I tell you, I want to get this story out. I do. There's some people I want to talk to. I want to get a hold of Tyler Perry, Spike Lee, and Judge Mathis. I need those 3. Those 3 got some different, work that I want to do to help bring Africans up out of this oppression that we in. We coming out at the end, people. If you ain't noticed, this is the end of the dark, oppressive underground railroad that have been on for the past 400 years. And we coming up out of it. We getting ready to rise with substance. If you ain't noticed, it's some things still going on out there in the community that ain't ever ended. Police killing folks, police lynching people, and they getting away with it. You got a whole bunch of police officers, Betty Shelby, Geronimo Yanez, I can name off a bunch of them, and I'm going to start doing that too, who just got away with murder. Yeah, they do. And see, what goes on is the oppression in the community. People are upset about that. We can't do nothing about it, but yes, we can. We can rise from this oppression, and that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. See, it's a little quiet movement that's bubbling at the surface. It's a grow program, and it's bubbling at the surface, and people starting to grow, in Norway, in Germany, in France, in United States, in Japan. I can name all the countries. They starting to grow. They starting to say, hey, wait a minute. I can do a little different. I can start thinking different. I can forgive. Because, see, I do got to give an account when I get to the spirit world. That is true. So people, we just got to start doing better. We got to start rising from this oppression. I'm going to tell you, while you are there, relaxing on your afternoon, on your holiday, go through the podcast, www.growprogram.org, and pick you out, some daily motivation, some sermons to listen to. And God bless you, and let's grow.